Today we'll start problems on journal entries. Before we start the problems on journal entries, we will go through the rules of real account, nominal account and personal account, which I had discussed in my previous session as well. Real account, we enter all the assets in real account and the rule says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. In nominal account, we enter all the expenses and losses and the rule says debit the expenses and losses and credit the incomes and gains. In personal account, we enter all the people with whom we are dealing with and the rule says debit the receiver and credit the giver. Keeping these rules in mind, let us start passing the journal entries. The very first transaction is commenced business with cash rupees 80,000. Now what we have to do is first we have to find the two accounts that are getting affected with this particular transaction. The first account is cash and the second account is capital. Cash because cash is coming in the business, cash is real and it is coming in the business, and capital we treat it as a liability, or you can say from personal account rule point of view, owner is a person and owner is contributing capital, he is giving, so we say credit the giver. So the two accounts I will write it here are cash and capital. And what we have to do, we have to see where these accounts are meant for what. Cash comes under the category of real account and capital can come under the category of personal or even nominal. Okay, personal account basically. Now real account rule says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. When the business started, cash came in, so cash should be debited because it comes in, so cash account debit. And the amount of cash with which he started the business is for 80,000 rupees, and capital is credited, so we write to capital because capital is given by the owner, he is the giver, or it is a liability and all the liabilities gets credited, so capital is credited. So this is how the journal entry will look like. Cash account debit to capital. Now let's go to the second transaction. Below this you have to write a brief narration, maybe being business started with cash. So that you will have to mention after every transaction so that anybody who reads it can understand what the transaction is all about. The second one, deposited cash with bank rupees 40,000. Now here which are the two accounts, can anybody think of it? Yes, the word cash is there, so cash is one thing and the other account is bank. So cash and bank are the two accounts that are getting affected in this case. Now if cash and bank are getting affected, then cash is a real account and bank is a personal account, because bank is treated as a separate legal entity or as a person in the eyes of law. You can file case against bank and all those can be done. So cash and bank are the two accounts. One is real, one is personal. Now real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. When you deposit cash into the bank, what is happening? Cash is going out, correct. So when the cash goes out, then you will have to credit it because real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash will be credited. Personal account says debit the receiver, credit the giver. Now when you give cash to the bank, bank becomes the receiver. So bank should be debited because it is receiving money. So what would be the entry? Bank account debit because bank is the receiver. And what was the amount that we deposited? 40,000 rupees. To cash because cash is going out of the business. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Cash is a real account and cash is an asset. So it is going out, that's why we are crediting it. So this is your second journal entry. Let's move on to the third one. The third transaction says purchase goods by paying cash. So now here again there are two accounts that are getting affected. And what are those two accounts? One you are paying cash, so cash is getting affected. And the second, you are purchasing goods, so instead of writing goods we will write it as purchases, because you purchase and you sell goods, both you do. So if I write goods, it is confusing whether goods are purchased or sold, so instead of that we are writing the word purchases. Now what is cash? Cash is an asset, so cash comes under the category of real account. Okay, and purchases. Now, purchases are treated in two ways. One is, some people call it as an expense, because when you purchase good, you pay money. So, if it is an expense, it should go to nominal account. And some people say that it is goods, right, that we are purchasing. So, goods are assets. So, we should treat them as assets. If you treat them as asset, it is real account. So, whichever way you treat it, whether you take a nominal rule or real rule, the problem would be correct. Okay, so now what are the purchases and entries? Let's see. Now cash is real account, and when you purchase goods and pay cash, cash goes out. So cash should be credited. Purchases, if I consider nominal account, if it is an expense, we have to do debit all expenses and losses. So we need to debit purchases. Similar way, if we consider it as goods and asset and real account, when you purchase goods come in, debit what comes in. So in both the rules, you are debiting purchases. So debit purchases and credit cash for 5,000 rupees. That would be your third journal entry. Purchases account debit to cash, and the amount is 5,000. So this is your third journal entry. Now next let's do the fourth one. Okay. So purchase goods from Lipton and Company on credit 10,000. Now there are two things again here. So you're purchasing goods from Lipton and Company. So we'll treat purchases as one account. And now you're not paying cash. So we'll treat Lipton and Company as second account. He is a person or a company. Okay. So these are the two accounts that are getting affected. Now purchases, we can treat it as real or nominal, right? And Lipton and Company are treated as personal, because it is a person or a company with whom we are dealing with. Okay, so what is the rule of personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. What is Lipton and Company doing? It is giving us goods. We have purchased goods from Lipton and Company, so Lipton and Company is the giver. So we need to credit Lipton and Company. And what is happening to goods? They are coming in. Debit what comes in according to real account rule. Or treating it as an expense, purchases if they are expense, debit all expenses and losses. So the entry would be purchases account debit to Lipton account, because purchases are goods coming in, debit what comes in, or debit the expenses. And Lipton is a personal account, it's a name of a company or a person, is treated as personal account. And when we purchase goods from Lipton and Company, Lipton and Company is giving us goods, it is the giver, so credit the giver. So to Lipton and Company, 10,000 would be your credit amount. This is the fourth journal entry. So this is how you have to pass the journal entries. First you have to identify the two accounts, and then whether they are real, personal or nominal, and then the rules of real, personal and nominal would apply accordingly. So let's see the next one. Let's complete the problem. Sold goods to Joy and received cash 11,000. Now again there are two things. You have sold goods, so it is sales. As I told you, will not use the word goods, we'll either use it as purchases or sales. And the second one, now the two things, you have sold goods to Joy, so should I use the word Joy, or you have sold goods to Joy and received cash, so should I use the word cash? The answer is we should use the word cash, because it is not on credit. If it is on credit, it is important to remember the name of the person. Joy is important if you don't get money from him. But when he has paid you money, it is not necessary to mention his name in your accounts. Cash has come in, you have to simply mention cash. So sales is treated as an income. So sales will be under the head nominal account, because nominal account has all the incomes and expenses, and cash is treated as real account. What is the rule of nominal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Okay, we have sold goods to Joy, so sorry, uh, I'm really sorry. The rules of nominal account are: debit the expenses and losses, credit the incomes and gains. When you sell goods, it is an income for you, so you need to credit the sales, it's incomes. And when you sell goods, cash comes in, debit what comes in. Real account rule says debit what comes in. So the entry would be cash account debit, because cash is coming in after selling the goods, to what? Joy or sales? Sales, because we are not writing Joy's name anywhere. It is a cash transaction. Only goods are going out, cash is coming in. That is what is to be recorded. So debit side 11,000, credit side 11,000. We are passing double entry for each of it. Now let's go to the sixth transaction. Paid salaries by cash rupees 5,000. So there are two accounts again. The very first one is cash, because you're paying cash. So let's write cash, and the other account is salaries. Okay, now when we hear the word salaries, what comes to our mind? Salaries are expenses. So expenses come in nominal account. Okay, so it is going to nominal account, and cash goes to real account. So first we'll write real, as we have written cash first. So real and nominal. Okay, so now cash is real, and when you pay salaries, cash goes out. Real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Cash is going out, so cash should be credited. Salaries is an expense. Nominal account says debit all expenses and losses, so we need to debit salaries. Okay, so the entry is salaries account debit. How much salary we are paying? 5,000 to cash. Remember to write the narration after each entry, a brief note on what the entry is. For this, the narration would have been being salaries paid. Okay, so I'm not mentioning that here, we are just understanding the concept here. Now the seventh transaction, paid Lipton and Company by check for the purchases made on 4th Jan. So you had purchased goods from Lipton and Company, they have not given the amount. You need to check on 4th Jan what was the amount? 10,000. Okay, so what you are doing, 10,000 worth goods you purchased, now you are paying by check. So when you pay by check, cash doesn't go out, bank has to pay. So the two accounts are bank and Lipton, because you're paying it to Lipton and Company. Okay, now bank is also personal account, Lipton and Company is also personal account. So for both, only the nominal account rule will apply, because bank is also treated as a person in the eyes of law, and Lipton itself is a company which is personal. So now what is happening? We are paying it to Lipton. So Lipton is the receiver, debit the receiver is the rule of personal account. Sorry, both the accounts are nominal. No, both the accounts are personal, because they're of a person. Sorry for the mistake. Both the accounts are personal. So debit the receiver. Lipton is the receiver, so we need to debit it. Credit the giver. Who is giving the money? Bank is giving, because we are paying through check. So bank should be credited. So Lipton's account debit to bank will be the entry. And how much was the amount? We had purchased on 4th. So 4th date the amount was 10,000. The same amount we are paying, because they have said we are paying to Lipton on the previous purchases that we made with him. Okay, so this was the seventh transactions journal entry. Let's go to the eighth one. Eighth transaction says bought furniture by cash rupees 4,000. So the two things again here, the two accounts are furniture and cash. Okay, so furniture and cash. Now, how do you treat these two accounts? Furniture is an asset, cash is also an asset. So both will have real account rules to be applied. Real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So what is coming in? Furniture is coming in. So furniture account debit. And what is going out? Cash is going out. So cash account should be credited. So here we write to cash. And the amount is 4,000 rupees. Okay, the next one, the ninth transaction. Paid electricity charges by cash. Now, electricity charges are expenses. So it comes, it is an expense. Electricity is the first account and cash is the second account. So electricity, as it is an expense, it goes to nominal account, and cash is an asset, so it goes to real account. So what is the rule of nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses. Electricity is an expense, so we need to debit it. So we, on the debit side, we will write electricity charges account debit, okay, to what are we paying? We are paying cash. Cash is going out, so to cash. And what was the amount? I think it was 1,000 rupees. Yes, it is 1,000. So you're paying 1,000 rupees cash. Then the last one, bank paid insurance premium on furniture as per standing instructions 300. So bank is paying insurance premium. 10th one, insurance premium on what it has paid? Furniture as per standing instructions 300. Okay, what is insurance premium? Insurance premium is one account, and the other account is bank, because bank is paying it on your standing instructions, right? So insurance premium is an expense that you're paying, so expense is nominal account, and bank is personal account because it is related to a person, identity as a person. So nominal account says debit all expenses and losses, so we need to debit insurance premium and personal account says debit the receiver, credit the giver. Bank is giving this premium on our instructions. So bank is the giver, so bank should be credited, and the amount was 300. So this is how you solve the problem on journal, and at the end you write the total amount of both the debit and the credit side. Both should be same. If they tally, that means you have passed the double entry for everything. So this is how you will actually solve a problem on journal, or you pass journal entries. Okay, I hope it is clear. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.